Once upon a time, there was a little princess. She was born in a house outside of the city. The little princess was just a baby. She was very small. She was tiny. She was little itty bitty. And when she was born, the little princess would cry a lot. She cried every night. She cried so much. She wanted a bottle. She wanted a diaper. She wanted some food. She was always crying. And one day, the little princess was crying and crying, and her mom heard her and said, "Why are you crying so much?" And the little princess just looked up and started to cry again. So the mom didn't know what to do. The mom thought and said, what should I do? My little princess is crying again. She's such a little girl and she's always crying. I don't understand. Why is she crying? So the mom called up on the phone. She called the doctor, and she said to the doctor, "Doctor, what should I do? The baby is crying and the baby won't stop crying. I gave her a bottle. I gave her milk. I gave her cheese. I gave her food. I played with her. I did everything I could, but she's still crying." So the doctor said, "Well, did you try giving her a new shoe?" And the mom said, "No, I haven't tried giving her new shoes." So the mom went to the store to look for shoes. And when she got to the store, she saw some shoes, but they weren't for babies. It was hard to find baby shoes. She looked all over the store and couldn't find any baby shoes at all. There were no baby shoes. So she went to the store, the person who works at the store, and said, "Do you have baby shoes?" And they said, "No, we have no baby shoes in the store." So the mom felt very frustrated. So she left the store and went home. And then she wrote a letter. She wrote a letter to a person who made baby shoes. She said, "Dear shoemaker, I need a pair of baby shoes." She wrote this letter and she said, "Please make sure they are comfortable and very small, very tiny, very little itty bitty for my baby." She put in a little bit of money and sent it in the mail with a stamp on top. And when she sent it off, she felt excited. She was excited that maybe the shoemaker could help her make some baby shoes. So she waited. She waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. Weeks went by, months went by, a whole year went by. And finally, one day she went to her mailbox and opened the mailbox, and inside there were baby shoes. They were the most beautiful shoes she had ever seen. They were rainbow and they were sparkly. She couldn't believe her eyes. She said to her friend, "Look at these beautiful shoes." She picked up the shoes and brought them inside and presented them, gave them, shared them with her little baby and said, "Please don't cry. Look, I have shoes." And the baby put the shoes on her feet. And that instant, she stopped crying. She was so happy. Her eyes got big. She had a big smile. She said, "Goo goo." She was so cute. She just loved the shoes. As soon as she put the shoes on, she started to walk. She stood up on her own two little tiny baby tiny feet. And she stood up and toddled around the room in her baby shoes. It was the most adorable thing. And then she looked up at her mom and smiled and spoke for the first time. And the little princess said, "Thank you, Mama." It was so cute. The mom started to cry because she was so happy. She said, "Yay, my baby is happy." And they lived happily ever after. The end.